What's up with the connection? Looks like something's interfering with the transmission. Or... Great. You guys again. And I take it you're the leader? I ran into a little friend of yours tonight, hanging out with your G-22 buddies. She's quite the little firecracker, although she doesn't talk much. Well, except with those pistols of hers.
That would be my bodyguard, sis. And I know you spared her life. That's why I'm calling.
I didn't want to fight her. I was only there for Lazo. But she didn't give me much choice.
It was under my orders, Mike. But I didn't realize you would be there. Else, I would have instructed sis to behave differently.
So should I ask what G-22 is doing in Moscow? You guys sure seem to get around.
It's a rather long answer, Mike. One I'd like to discuss more, if you'd be up for it.
Is your bodyguard invited? If so, I'll need body armor.
I'm afraid it's required she be present. We're not supposed to be apart. It's how G-22 operates in the field. But like you, I tend to bend the rules for the sake of the greater good. I'll leave the choice up to you, but I can't wait long. If you want to discuss your future, then meet me at the following coordinates. It isn't far. And come alone.
Alright. But I better not be walking into an ambush. And tell Sis to keep her distance.
I will do so. I will not wait long, Mike. So if you want to speak to me, you'll have to do it soon.
Pleasure cruisers on the Moscow River received a shock this morning when they discovered an empty yacht floating unattended on the river. Muscovite police were summoned to the scene after bloodstains and signs of a violent struggle were detected on the boat's deck.
Talk about your ghost ship.
Ghost ship indeed. Police are dragging the river where the yacht was found, but no bodies have been located yet.
Spooky.
Terrorism, still a threat? Authors from best-selling books on terrorism say yes and point to a recent rise in incidents in the Middle East as proof of their claims. Could another incident like 9/11 be in our future? Tune in for our special feature, Terror Threat, Global Terror in Our Backyards.
In fashion news, designer Robin Goulet's latest show in New York was greeted with surprisingly mixed reviews.
The focal point of the show was the controversial theme of ruined beauty. Models dressed in Goulet's latest designs would stroll to the end of the runway, where they were actually drenched in real pig blood.
Well, many did find it outrageous, some less so. Fans of the designer called it a, quote, new and breathtaking twist in fashion, while critics called it, quote, gaudy, overblown, and completely gross. And various animal rights groups picketed the show, claiming it was, quote, disrespectful to the suffering of fellow creatures.
In response to these protests, Goulet labeled the protesters as stupid dumbfaces who needed to get the F over themselves, end quote. In Moscow today, authorities are baffled by the aftermath of a shootout at the Leningradsky train yard.
Beautiful night. Let's not ruin it by shooting each other.
It's all right, sis.
Hello, Mike. No trouble finding the place, I hope.
You wanted to meet face to face. Why?
I wanted to talk about you and the organization I represent. You spared Sis's life. For that, you have my thanks.
Sorry it came to that. I didn't want to fight her, but the situation didn't leave much time for talking. Although she's not much of a talker, I take it.
She's a mute. Let's walk. Sis will make sure we're not interrupted.
All right. So, what did you want to talk about?
I know to all outward appearances you're a rogue agent. I also know about Alpha Protocol, and in your case, it's being used for its intended purpose.
Yeah, I really love being on the run. Is that what you wanted, to compliment me? Next time, send a card.
I had hoped you might be more proud of your accomplishment.
What accomplishment?
It's not often that one gets to turn the tools of their own government against them, and for the right reasons. And Alpha Protocol? It is a powerful tool.
Between Halbeck and you, I'm beginning to feel like everyone knows about Alpha Protocol.
It may seem that way. I'd argue you're simply traveling in a smaller circle here, on the fringe of international politics.
I don't know what you want, Albatross. G22's agenda? Doesn't seem like you have one.
No. We have aspirations, as does any government. But we believe that agendas are accomplished by careful study and observation. If the status quo is disrupted, it makes predicting triggers and events more difficult.
You sound like one of the analysts of Alpha Protocol I know.
Alpha Protocol has always had someone in that role. It helps them function as intended, no matter what iteration of the program. It's an odd thing. A government-sponsored program whose purpose is to prevent being policed by its own government. Now, what kind of foundation is that for a country?
I guess you have to trust your country and act in its best interests.
Do you trust your country?
I do. I believe in the mission.
I propose we become allies.
What, I become a member of G22?
No. I propose we cooperate. You will find that as extensive as Alpha Protocol's leftover safe houses and gadgets are, well, G22 has access to much more.
And the price?
Let us say I owe you. You've already paid me, in the only currency I value. What do you say?
All right. I need all the friends I can get. And for some reason, I trust you.
You won't regret it, Mike. We're out of time, I'm afraid. Thank you for listening to me, Mike. I know you have a great deal of work ahead of you.
Albatross, I need to know something.
Yes. What?
This business with Halbeck. I can still prevent it, right? There's a way to stop them. This isn't going to end well, is it?
Mike, it never does.